Everybody needs good neighbors with a little understanding. You can find the perfect blend. Neighbors should be there for one another. That's when good neighbors become good friends.
All the years I've been threatening people with this thing, 11, you went off so easy.
We thought you'd shot yourself.
What, deliberately? What would I do that for?
It was the way you
What
said...
do you think I am, senile or something? No, I just went and do a bit of packing.
What for?
Well, I would have thought that was obvious.
Oh, come on, Mrs. Forbes. You can't give in to them like that.
Well, I don't think I've got much choice. You can't run a farm on nothing.
But, well, you've got nowhere else to go.
Oh, all I need's a roof over me head. I've never gone in for fancy living. Not about to start now.
But we can help you keep the farm going. We weren't joking about that.
I know you weren't. You're good lads, misguided, but your hearts are in the right place.
But in a couple of months, we could have this place just the way it used to be. And then all you'd have to do is sit back, take it easy.
Don't you think I'd jump at it if I thought it was possible?
But it is.
But it isn't.
How are you going to move if you haven't got any money?
I've got my pension, and I'll sell the equipment to Fletcher for whatever he's prepared to pay.
Fletcher is a rip-off.
Oh, now listen, you two. I'm tired and I'm old and I'm sick to death of arguing. I'm going to go in and lie down for a bit. I've had enough for one day.
We just can't let her do it. We just can't let her give in like that.
I don't see how we can stop her. She seems pretty determined.
Well, I don't think she knows what she's saying. I've read how people close to you dying can affect your thinking.
She's acting weird, that's for sure.
We've got to prove to her somehow that we can do it.
Well, Dad'd know what to do.
I'm sure he would. Any brighter ideas?
Well, I could call him. I wouldn't have to tell him where we were.
No, I know you. He'd have it out of you in 2 seconds flat. And the cops would be breaking down that door. And that'll probably be enough to send old Mrs. Forbes right over the edge.
Well, Paul then. I'll call him and see what he thinks.
And he'll tell your old man...
No, he won't. Not if I tell him not to. Anyhow, how will they find us if I don't tell them where we are? And I wouldn't. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm in this as deep as you are, Danny.
I don't like it, Scotty.
You got any better ideas?
I suppose it's better than doing nothing. But I'm warning
Shut
you...
up, Danny. Trust me.
We had to write a poem for homework. What do you think of this? There was a young man called Paul whose brain was incredibly small. When he tried to think, he started to blink and his pants began to fall.
Oh, Lucy.
I bet you wonder how I think of them.
Not how, why?
Lucy, I think it's time you went to bed.
Oh, please, Gran, please can I stay up, please?
No.
I've got it. Jim Robinson.
Can I please speak to Paul Robinson?
Yes, certainly. Who shall I say is calling?
Jack. I go to uni with him.
Yeah, all right, Jack, just hold on, would you? Paul, it's for you. It's your brother. Now, for heaven's sake, don't let on that I know it's him. But find out where the deuce he's calling from, will you?
Hello?
Paul, it's Scott. Don't say anything, just listen.
Sure. What's the problem, Jack?
It's Scott.
So we've got to convince the bank manager to give her a bit more time. Just a couple of months. Have you got any ideas?
Not off the top of my head. I'll have to give it some thought. Where can I contact you?
I'll call you back.
Look, do you trust me in whatever I think's best?
Yeah, it's just that I don't want you calling me here. I'll call back.
What's with all the secrecy? You know you're in the clear.
What?
Just what I said. Listen, Dad's coming back now. Give us your number.
Yeah, all right. It's Wildara 351.
You stupid jerk!
They say we're in the clear.
That's as good a way as any of getting you to tell them where we are.
Jara 351. You know where it is?
No idea, but I thought you look it up on the map. I'm going to go and tell Maria. Yeah, great news.
Oh, wonderful.
Is Scott coming home, Gran?
Oh, I hope so, darling. I hope so. Oh.
Jeez, fancy telling them the name of the town.
Oh, shut up, Danny. You wouldn't have told Dad anything. You're just being paranoid.
Paranoid, am I?
Danny!
Let me go!
What the hell are you running for?
The police have called!
But they dropped the charges. The woman was drunk. She left a bag in a pub or something. I thought you knew that.
It's the truth, Danny. Everything's all right. Honestly, Scott, we wouldn't lie to you.
I told you, Danny. Paul said we're in the clear.
You lay one finger on that boy, I'll blow your head off.
It's okay, Mrs. Forbes. Dad wasn't going to hurt him.
That's not how it looked to me.
It's all right, honest. He won't do anything. We haven't exactly been straight with you, Mrs. Forbes.
Oh. Well, in that case, you better come inside. But I'm not easy fooled. I'm warning you.
So why isn't Dad with you?
We just thought it was best if Mrs. Daniels and I came on our own.
Good, because I never want to see him again.
Morning.
You're late.
Yeah, sorry, I had to stop off and get some petrol.
Should have done that last night.
Yeah, I should have, but I forgot.
Oh, great. You forgot.
I'll give it a rest, Dad. Guess what? What? Jim's found Danny and Scott. He's gone to collect them this morning.
Oh, yeah. What are you gawping at? Haven't seen a bloke put his coat on before, eh?
Dad, they've found Danny.
I heard you the first time. Now, come on.
I must say I had trouble believing they were brothers, but I figured they wouldn't lie to me unless they had a very good reason.
Well, I suppose they thought they did.
Are you sure it was the law you were running away from, not him?
He's never raised a hand to me.
Which is not to say that I haven't sometimes felt like it.
We've all been worried sick about them, Mrs. Forbes. We just didn't know where to start looking.
Yeah, well, I wasn't about to tell you where they were, not after what they told me. And what I want to know is how anybody could think that these fine young lads could be mixed up in something like that.
Well, I don't have an answer for that. It was inexcusable.
What about Danny's father? Has he been knocking him around?
Well, Max has always had his temper, sure, but I've never known him to be physically violent.
Oh. Then it looks as though you two young rascals have been feeding me an whole lot of bull. What are you going to say for yourselves?
I'm sorry we lied to you, Mrs. Forbes. But we were scared. Well, we thought we were going to get put away for something we didn't do.
Fair enough. Can't say I blame them for running away.
No, neither can I.
Poor Maria. The men in your life really give you a hard time, don't they?
Hard time? They're driving me nuts. Still, I suppose it's as much my fault as theirs.
Nonsense. Any bloke who'd walk out on you needs to have his head examined.
You know what they say. It takes two to tango.
Well, they have been known to be wrong. And speaking of tangos, fancy a spot of dancing this evening?
Good heavens. Oh, I haven't been dancing for years. I used to love it. No, Nick. I think I should stay in tonight.
Oh, come on, be a devil. You and the night and the music. Go on, we can have dinner first and then dance the night away.
No, I really think I should stay here, in case Jim or Helen call.
Sure.
Sure. Some other time. Okay?
Spurned again.
I'm sure you'll get over it.
Never.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, put a bit of muscle into it, Shane. Oh, useless. Here. Out the way. I can do it better with one arm.
I'll do it, Dad. Look, it's just that my hands aren't used to it yet, all right?
Who'd have thought anyone could do a perfect pike could be so damn clumsy?
You may not have noticed, Dad, but I can't execute any sort of a pike these days.
Oh, look, not like you're playing a ruddy poker machine.
Look, Dad, if you want me to give you a hand, you're just going to have to be a little bit more patient, okay? Okay?
Okay. Just get on with it, will you?
Looks like you've been having a pretty rough trot.
Oh, what with the drought and Ned being sick, it's been downhill the last 4 or 5 years. Anyway, it's enough of my problems. I've done you a real disservice, Jim. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, don't be. I think I'd have done the same thing in your position. But I feel like I guided to it. I could do with some of this country air in my lungs, eh?
If you want.
Listen, why don't you two boys take your dad down and show him the fencing you done? Go on, that ought to impress him.
You'd be right, Helen?
Oh, yes, I'm sure Mrs. Forbes and I will find plenty to talk about. Such as how she manages to get Scott to do dishes without question.
Hello, Maria. Yes? Oh, boy, am I glad you're here.
Why? What happened?
Well, I've got a job this afternoon, and I was trying on the costume, and the zip got caught and I'm trapped.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
Hold it here.
I saw Helen this morning, just before she and Jim left. You must be relieved.
Oh, yes, I am. Oh, boy. You heard about Megs, haven't you?
The drunk driving charge.
They should have known better.
Oh, he sounds like quite a character, this Nick.
Yes, Megs and I have known him for years. He's a lot of fun. He asked me to go dancing tonight.
Oh, that'll be great.
That's it.
Thank you.
I'm not going.
Oh, why not?
It was just a friendly gesture, and other people might see it differently.
Oh, Maria, get out and enjoy yourself.
Just a sec.
Maria, I just had a brilliant idea about... Good God.
Talk of the devil. Daphne, Nick.
Hi.
Hello. Look, I was thinking, why don't I get a lavish takeaway, a bottle of bubbly, and all three of us have dinner here?
I suppose you could do that, but I prefer your original idea.
Will I ever understand women?
Don't even try.
Daphne was just convincing me that I should take you up on your offer.
Oh, it's terrific. Good on you, Daphne.
Anytime, Nick.
Quite a catch was Ned.
You made a handsome couple.
Because, mind you, that was taken 20, 30 years ago. That's my mother.
Oh, she's lovely.
Oh, that's an old school photo. See me in the back row? Who is it?
Pam Hammond from Welfare. Can I come in?
Looks as though you already are.
How are you, Mrs. Forbes?
Well as can be expected, thank you. Oh, Mrs. Daniels, this is Miss Hammond.
How do you do?
How do you do?
I've got some good news for you. Well, at least I hope it's good news. Do you remember that hostel I was telling you about in Ballyvale?
The old people's home, you mean? Yes, I remember.
Yes. Well, a room has become available if you're interested.
Oh, someone died, did they?
I don't know.
Go on. Doesn't matter much. All right, I'll take it.
Oh, right. Well, there'll be a token charge, of course, but there's no more than that. Now, I've written all the details down here
Yes,
for
I'll
you.
pay what they want. I've always paid my own way. Excuse me, Mrs. Daniels. Miss Hammond. Got to feed me chooks.
You a friend of Mrs. Forbes?
In a sense. Where is Ballyvale?
Oh, it's about an hour's drive from here. It's a good-sized town. It's very pretty.
Well, surely she'd be better in a place she knows. Isn't there something more local?
No, I'm afraid not.
It seems a shame to take her away from all her friends.
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Forbes kept themselves very much apart from the locals. They were a bit naughty, really. I mean, letting people think they were married, you know, that sort of thing.
Well, that sort of thing wouldn't go down well in a town this size.
No. No, it would not. This hostel, Mrs. Daniels, it really is a nice place. Would you tell her that she doesn't have to make up her mind immediately? I'll pop back in a day or two and see what she wants to do about it.
Yes, I will.
Nice meeting you, Mrs. Daniels.
Nice meeting you.
I'm glad someone cares.
We only finished stringing this wire when you got here this morning.
That's a pretty professional job.
Mrs. Forbes showed us how. She's amazing. Knows farming inside out.
Yeah, I'll bet she does.
I reckon we're going to make a couple of pretty good farmers, hey, Scott?
Yeah, I guess.
It takes years of hard work to learn how to run a farm properly.
We've got Mrs. Forbes to show us. What's the problem?
Any idea how old Mrs. Forbes is?
70? 75?
I see what you're getting at, Mr. Robinson. But I can tell you, that old bird will be running around this place when she's 100 years old.
That's if they let her keep the place. Why don't you want us to help her?
It's not that I don't want you to help her. That's over to Mrs. Forbes and the bank manager. It's just that I want you to see the reality of the situation.
I like it here, Mr. Robinson. It's peaceful. If I went back home now, the old man and me would be at each other's throats as soon as I walked in that door. No. I'm going to do anything to stay here if I can.
Well, it's up to you, Danny. I can't make you go home. How about coming to town with me, Scotty? I've got to get a room each for your grandmother and me.
If you want. Should I go and put these in Grandma's room?
Oh, no bother. I can take it in later. Sit down.
Shouldn't we be getting back to the farm?
There's no rush. Mrs. Forbes is in good hands. I want to talk to you, Scott. Just the two of us.
What's there to talk about? I've got nothing to say.
No, well, you don't have to say anything. There are one or two things I want to say, if you don't mind. I want to say how sorry I am for a start.
Sorry for what?
For siding with strangers.
I knew you didn't believe me right from the start.
I did in the beginning, Scott. I did, really. And I wanted to all along. But after you told me that lie about Danny, I just didn't know what to believe. Scott, please. I have gone over it and over it and over it and over it, and I still can't understand why I reacted the way I did.
That makes two of us.
I suppose coming so soon after Anna. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make excuses for myself. There is no excusing something like that.
Don't worry about it, Dad. It doesn't matter.
But it does matter. Matters a lot. You're my son and I let you down. Badly. Assault. How I could ever contemplate you being involved in something like that. I've always felt sorry for Danny. Felt pretty smug about what a great father I am. I'm no better than Max.
That's not true.
I'm afraid it is, mate.
If you were like him, I wouldn't have been so surprised. So blown away that you didn't trust me.
I want to make it up to you, Scotty. Don't know how.
You don't have to, Dad. It's okay.
I just want things to be right between us, that's all.
First mistake ever. It's not too bad going.
I've been so scared, Scott. I was afraid I'd lost you forever.
No such luck. I missed you, Dad.
I missed you too, son.